Get ready because today we're serving power, passion, and a whole lot of legal swagger. Our guest is none other than Kelly Bagla, or as our clients call her, the Queen of Business Law. With over 2 decades of experience, Kelly is a go to advisor for high net worth individuals and business owners who know the value of protecting their empires before trouble knocks. Kelly's magic doesn't just stop in the courtroom. She's a New York Times bestselling author of Go Legal, empowering entrepreneurs to chase their dreams fearlessly. And then when she's not slaying the legal world, she's making a difference in her community, offering pro bono services to veterans and rescuing furry friends through her nonprofit, Last Chance at Life. Oh, did we mention she balances it all with her Marine husband, Brent, and their 3 adorable dogs? From law to leadership to love, Kelly Bagla is a powerhouse with a heart. Let's dive into her incredible journey and discover what makes her the ultimate legal and community champion.
Welcome to Power Your Profits podcast, your friendly guide in bringing your business revenue to the next level. Listen as host Dr. Susie Carter hears inspiring stories of success from her fellow entrepreneurs and transformational leaders. Prepare to make significant change to your strategies as they unravel the secrets of building multi-million-dollar businesses and the most effective tips on finance, marketing, and sales accountability. If you want to take your first steps towards explosive business growth, this podcast is for you. Without further ado, here is your host, Dr. Susie.
Everybody needs the go-to lawyer. And I want to tell you, Kelly, you're the queen of business law and a title that is as bold as your career. What first sparked your passion for law and how did you turn it in? You turned it into your own kingdom, helping high net worth individuals.
Susie, let me start off by saying I love, love, love what I do. Absolutely. Yes, I am a corporate attorney. I bet you've never heard those words from another attorney, right?
No,
Let
not
me
at all.
repeat those words. I love, love, love what I do. Guess what I do? I get to help entrepreneurs on their journey to success. I've always said, Susie, it takes an entrepreneur to really understand the needs of another entrepreneur. And so being an entrepreneur 3 times over, may I say, I really understand where people are coming from. Sometimes, that it's the very first time that they're entering into the business world and they have no idea what to do. Sometimes they're serial entrepreneurs and they always learn as well from one mistake to the next mistake.
Yes.
And to be the attorney for the entrepreneurs, to have that title and also to have the title Queen of Business Law. It's a privilege. I hold that title with such pride.
Now, did your clients give you that name? How did we come up with the Queen of Business Law?
They did, Susie. So I play chess. I really enjoy chess. Again, business is exactly like a game of chess, right? So you have to able to know where you are 4 to 5 moves ahead. And as I zealously represent my clients, it was a client that actually said to me, you know what, with that English accent, you literally are the queen of business law. And that's it, it's stuck. And the way that title, the way I carry it, Susie, it's basically on a chessboard. The queen is the most powerful piece. Why? Because she can move in any direction, and her sole job is to protect the king. Our clients are the king, and this is the service that we provide. So very proud of being the queen of business law.
I love that explanation. The first time you explained that to me, I'm like, that makes so much sense. It's not, a cute name, right? No, it's like, no, I'm serious about protecting the king, which I love.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Many people want to write one book, but my girl Kelly has written 6, and the New York Times bestseller, A Legacy Empowering Entrepreneurs. What's the story about Go Legal yourself? What was a light bulb moment? What inspired you to guide your pen to transform the way entrepreneurs tackle their legal hurdles?
I'm a firm believer that there's so much money out there to be had, Susie. So much money, right? And money is going to find you if you're attracted to money. So you don't turn away from money. You always accept money. You always open your doors and say, welcome. Same thing. Anyone calls the office, we say, welcome, right? It's money calling. I'm so sorry, Susie. I went off topic. You had said something about
What inspired you
go
to
legal. Yes.
go legal
Yes. Yes. Perfect. So I'm a capitalist, right? And I'm proud of that because without money, you can't do anything, and let alone help anyone at all. So I started my career with the largest international law firm in the world. I was their corporate and securities attorney, and I learned from some of these brilliant minds across the globe. We were in 69 countries at the time. And I saw how the big firms treated their clients, treated them very, very well. However, there was a shortage that I noticed while at the firm that there are only certain entrepreneurs that had a lot of money that were being treated a certain way. And the clients that didn't really have much money, they were being overlooked. So when I started my firm back in 2009, I knew exactly I wanted to start a different type of firm. I don't want to bill my clients on an hourly basis. We don't do that here at the firm. And so we charge flat rate fees. And then I also realized, Susie, that there was a gap in between the clients that I serve and the clients that these big law firms serve. What about the entrepreneurs that are bootstrapping? What about the entrepreneurs that have to get some money and get a loan out just to start, just to incorporate their business? So that's when I decided, I said, I need to make this easier for everyone involved. People with money, fine, you can go and pick and choose whichever law firm you want to work with. People that are serious about business, serious about starting their independent journey, if you will, those are the ones that really needed the help. And what I noticed was there was so much self-help, if you will, out there, Susie, that you've got these online companies now that are saying we can start your business for $3.99. But what do you get out of that $3.99? Literally, you pay for what you get. I've seen these documents that have come over my desk because clients come to me and say, well, we got incorporated online and this is what I have. I can tell you that the paperwork that they have signed is not worth anything at all. It's really not. It's not going to protect you when you get into trouble. It's definitely not going to protect you when you go to court and you are sued. So that's when I said, okay, there has to be a better option out there. And that's when I created golegalyourself.com. It is a business in a box. However, it's a comprehensive business in a box. What do I mean by that? If you're going to go online and form your business, you are going to get 1, 2, or 3 documents, and that is it. If you go to form your business through golegalyourself.com, you are going to get 15 different documents, and each document is required and needed, especially in California because of corporate compliance. I could go on and on and on with this, Susie, but the bottom line is that I wanted to make legal accessible for all. I really did. And again, being here in this incredible country, right? Clearly, you can tell I wasn't born here,
Yes.
just from that accent. But this has become my home. This great country was founded upon the backs of other entrepreneurs. I'm living my American dream, and so if I can help others live theirs, that's what brings me joy. And I love, love, love what I do.
I can tell you love what you do. And I think it's important to talk about because people don't think they're going to be sued. They don't think, they don't need serious agreements, and you do, right? I used to laugh at events. I'm like, you're not really an entrepreneur until you've been sued, right? That's your stripes. Not that anybody wants to be sued, and I'm not calling that towards, but if we don't have that in place, that just opens up this liability, just in all the things. And as an entrepreneur, I don't know when the laws change. I don't know, like, is this still legal? Is this not legal? So one, that resource, because we were talking about the book, but we have a whole website, which is next level, that we can go cost effectively until they can afford, an attorney like you. And I love, and I don't know if people know this, but yes, people charge hourly. And I find that then the hours just, it's a little here, a little here, a little here, a little here. So you're actually paying more than what you would if you just had a flat fee, right? Knowing what I know now, right? I didn't always know that, right? We were looking for the best deal, but I think as an attorney, we don't want to, be stingy in protecting our biggest asset, which is our business or our home, right? From, protecting that, whether it's in a trust or your business agreements. Yes, your business agreements, if you have partners, you business agreements, right? So let's
Susie,
talk.
you just nailed it, right? You
Right.
literally just nailed it right there. It's not just about you now. When you become an entrepreneur, it's not just about you, it's about your family. If you're married and you have children and you decide to take that risk, you are putting your spouse and your children at risk. So, before you go out there and start a business and have all this liability, and yes, we are living in a day and age where there are 1 million lawsuits filed every single year, Susie, every single year, not just on corporations, but the business owners themselves too.
Yes.
So litigation is definitely strong in the business world. The best advice that anybody can actually undertake right now, any business owner, is do yourselves a favor, get your corporate documents reviewed. That's going to be step number one. If a brand new client comes to me and say they've been incorporated already, I always review their corporate documents to make sure that they have the legal solid foundation that they can stand upon. If your foundation is shaky and you keep building, you know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
so that's step number one. And documentation, you're absolutely right. It's crucial to make sure that you have the proper language in your contracts, not somebody else's contracts. And especially when it comes to California, California business laws are always changing constantly. Do yourselves a favor, do the right thing for your family and yourself. Protect yourself now. And then that way you actually do save millions down the road. So it's going to be easier to secure some firm that you get along with and make sure that you actually are able to talk to the lawyer, because sometimes you're not allowed to talk to the lawyer without being paid, right? So yeah, but that's definitely important to make sure that the family and whatever legacy you're trying to create is protected from day one.
So what are the must-haves? Like when you as an attorney, like you would not start a business without these things. What are those things?
Very first thing would be a customized articles of incorporation. I do not use the form from the website because it gives you zero protection as a director. Customized articles to form my business. Bylaws are internal documents, must have bylaws, just in case you need to know how to hold a meeting, how to fill a position, how to fire a director. Internal documents are the bylaws. Then you also have organizational minutes. Organizational minutes are the very first minutes of the meeting that solidify who are going to be the directors, who are going to be the officers. And the biggest part is if you're going into business with someone, who's going to be a shareholder? How are those shares going to be held? Are they going to be vesting? Are they going to be given outright? So there's so much to consider before even starting the business itself. The must-haves would be, as a business owner, you need a website. You have to have your website terms and conditions, your website privacy policy, and your website disclaimer. You must have those. If you do not have those, you will get sued by the FTC. The other must have is your own client contract. If you are in business for yourself and you use your client's contract, you're doing yourself a huge disservice because their contract's always going to protect them and not you. So make sure that you have an ironclad contract that's going to serve you, especially when someone stops paying you, right? We've all been there. What do we do when that happens? You look at the contract and you say, well, what are the next steps? So client contract is a definite must have. And then another must have would be a independent contractor agreement. In California, again, it's different when it comes to business. In California, there was a law passed back in the day in 2018 where they started classifying workers. So now in an independent contractor agreement to really say this person is an independent contractor, not an employee, there must be certain languages and certain clauses, and especially clauses that say work made for hire. That's another must-have, is an independent contractor agreement that you can use that's going to protect your interest in this relationship.
And what do you see the biggest mistakes that we as entrepreneurs are making?
You
Because
have,
I'm saying we, because I've made them. That's
yes.
why it's so important to have Kelly on this show, is because I made them all. And the only reason I know is because I made mistakes. Like I didn't have a Kelly, I didn't know. Well, when I first started my business in 1995, I was just, ignorance on fire. And now I'm like, oh no, nothing is done without a contract.
We've all done it, Susie. We've all done it. We really have. And if you don't learn from that, then maybe entrepreneurship isn't really for you, because being an
Exactly.
entrepreneur, you are going to fail. That's just a given, right? You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get things in trouble. You are going to get in trouble yourself. So just keep in mind that protecting yourself, your family, your business is your number one goal. You decided to step into the shoes of an entrepreneur. Now you have to take on that responsibility. That being said, the biggest mistake, or the biggest issue, a very serious issue that I've noticed that people are not complying with is, and again, they're not lawyers, right? And
Right.
they don't know unless they go to see a lawyer, is if you're starting a business and all of a sudden you start saying to your aunties and nephews and nieces and family members and friends, I'll give you stock, and I'll give you stock, and hey, I'll give you stock, and you get some stock, right? Because you're trying to raise money for your business. That's all wonderful, wonderful, because again, we can't do anything without money. However, when you issue stock without complying with the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, you are going to be hit with fines, fees, and penalties. And this is a big one, Susie. This is a big
Yes.
one. You would be the lucky recipient to go to jail for 1 year. Yay! So these, and please, anyone that is listening to this show, look this up. This is exactly the punishment that you will receive if you don't comply with SEC rules and regulations. Anytime you are issuing stock, it can be to yourself. If you don't register with the SEC or use exemptions, then you are in breach of the SEC rules and regulations. And I see this every single day. And then you say to me, Susie, well, how is the SEC going to know? There's always internal, always internal. I promise you they will find out.
Yeah, I had a friend that he called it camp because he was in violation. And it's like the IRS, the SEC, ignorance is not bliss. They don't care, you didn't know, you're going to jail, right? So we laugh about it, but it's really serious to go,
It
what
is
do I
very
need to
serious.
do to be protect myself in my business, and I love that you say protect my family, right? It's my responsibility if I take on entrepreneurship. It's not just willy-nilly, right?
Right.
So let's talk about your 2 decades, countless accolades, a reputation that speaks before you walk in a room. What's your secret sauce for staying on top of your game and constantly delivering for your clients?
It's really simple, Susie. It's really, really simple. I'm a God-fearing woman. I call God my bestie. In fact, as I'm speaking to you right now about bestie, I'm getting goosies.
Mm-hmm.
I have an impenetrable bond with bestie, and bestie's the one that keeps me grounded. Bestie is the one that guides me, and I'd never leave home without bestie. Bestie is literally my secret source. I believe in everything that I have. Susie, I'm extremely blessed for it, extremely blessed. I wake up happy. I go to sleep happy. I'm surrounded by love every single day. I mean, who wouldn't want to live this life? Who
Yes.
wouldn't want to? And what I have done in my life is I've never looked at something and thought I could not do that. If I wanted something, I have to want it from my heart. Otherwise, Dad told me never to bother. Don't bother with small stuff. So everything that I've wanted, Susie, I have become very laser focused. And guess what? I always end up getting it. Be it from working for the largest international law firm in the world, that's literally set me up for success for the rest of my life, to writing several books, to having a award-winning international podcast. We're in 26 countries. To being on covers of magazines. It's because I love what I do, and what I do is I give back to entrepreneurs.
You're listening to another episode of Power Your Profits podcast. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. Are you tired of pouring resources into strategies that don't work? Say hello to Dr. Susie Carter, your future fractional COO. With Dr. Susie in your corner, your business can skyrocket to 7 figures and beyond. With a track record of creating thriving businesses, trust that you are in good hands. Head over to coo.poweryourprofits.com and let us put some magic into your business growth. Are you tired of struggling to take your business to the next level? Power Your Profits is the game-changing book you've been waiting for. Dr. Susie Carter, creator of the Predictable Success Method, reveals her proven strategies for explosive growth. From daily operations to marketing systems, this comprehensive guide empowers you to achieve predictable revenue and profit growth. Don't miss out on this invaluable wisdom. Transform your business today. Find your copy at books.poweryourprofits.com.
Everything that I've done in my career, Susie, from my law firm to my 2 other businesses. One is golegalyourself.com, a business in a box. The second business is a coaching company. It's called Pitbulls and Pearls. To writing books, to inviting guests on my podcast. It's all to support entrepreneurs. That's literally all I have done. If I look back and say, well, why was I awarded this and why was I awarded that? It's because I'm always innovating. I'm making business accessible and easy for entrepreneurs. I want to take away all of that stress, the blockage, I don't know this or I don't know that. Business can't, being your own boss, having your own business, it's incredibly freeing. It's incredibly, you become independent and you get to leave a legacy behind and you get to decide what type of business you want to run and types of clients you want to serve. And so I've just been very, very blessed, Susie. And again, my secret sauce is Bestie, coupled with my loving husband. Cannot forget Brent. He's my soulmate. He's my best friend. And so you really need someone that is going to tell you exactly how it is. You don't need someone that's going to sugarcoat it, right? So I'm a very straightforward person, Susie. I don't have time to beat stuff around the bush. We don't as entrepreneurs.
No.
And so I think that's what really people love. It's just my straightforwardness. I'm not in it to charge you, keep charging you because I'm trying to extend this answer out for you. No, if it's going to be a simple yes or no, that's what you get from me, yes or no. Clients love it. But I clearly I have been rewarded through awards and publications and accolades. I've been rewarded for my work, Susie. And again, I'm here to serve entrepreneurs. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, she's being modest. If you go to her website, we've got 400 plus media coverage, right? There's everywhere, every award, especially in San Diego, because she's a leader in San Diego. Like, I love your humility. And what I love is this is Kelly, right? I can call you at 8 a.m. I can call you at 10 p.m., and it's the same person, right? The genuineness, the straightforwardness, even in an upset, we're always laughing, right? To go, how do we, fix this, whatever it is, and that's what you're looking for. I believe your attorney is, in partnership with you. And I believe Kelly does that. Your work with veterans is nothing short of inspiring. So let's talk about that, from offering discounts to rolling up your sleeve and doing pro bono projects. You made it a cornerstone of your practice, as well as the pit bulls, and we'll get there too. What's your story behind the veterans and what was your motivation?
In America, you don't have to, since I've been here anyways, it's a volunteer position. You're not drafted, you're not forced to go serve. This is a volunteer position. And so for someone to volunteer their life, to put their life on the line for us, and grateful Americans, right?
Right.
It means something to me. That to me means something. In fact, I really incredibly appreciate the military itself because they keep us safe. America is a massive country and they keep us safe. So anything that I can do to give back to them, just to let them know, thank you so much for your service. And now these are the benefits that you get to pick and choose as well. I would love to, that's what we provide to our veterans. In fact, I love veterans so much, I married one, right? Brent's a Marine. his son is currently serving in the Marines as well. And most of our clientele, they're all either they're lieutenant colonels. We've got a couple of colonels themselves. We've got a general, two generals, and it's just really one. It's me saying thank you so much to our military personnel. We will always, always provide them with massive discounts, always. I will always connect them to the National Veterans Chamber of Commerce. It's free for them and their families to join as well. It's a wonderful organization. And then we also, business owners that are veterans, will get them showcased on the radio, on the Veterans Radio Show as well. So I'm a legal analyst and legal contributor for the Veterans Radio Show on a monthly basis. And I work with the CEO very, very carefully, or closely rather, where we are providing accessible housing, accessible jobs, just the common decency of how we can help and give back to our veterans so they can come back and rejoin and stand shoulder to shoulder with us and become successful at their business too. But I'll tell you what, though, veterans, they always make incredible business owners, Susie, always.
Yes. Well, when I was hiring, it was, we're both in a military town, and it was always a benefit when it was on their resume. I know they know structure, they know detail, they like accountability, right? It does have a certain work ethic that comes with that. So I definitely agree with that. So talk about your last chance at life. Let's talk about that.
Yes, we are seven siblings altogether. And I am the baby of seven.
I did not
And
know that. As long as I've known you, I did not know that you were one of seven. I'm one of
yeah,
nine, so I get
you
you.
want to yes, yes, and yes, I am very spoiled. I did rightfully so. And I have always, so I grew up with nieces and nephews, and so I was always around kids at that time. And I became an auntie when I was 3 years old. So I grew up around kids. I've always, always, always never wanted kids. Never. It's just a personal decision. Never really was for me. And somehow I just developed this affinity, Susie, for dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs in particular, not cats, not anything else, but dogs in particular. And I used to be petrified, literally, not scared, petrified of dogs. And here I am, I'm rescuing dogs. Last Chance at Life is a dog rescue. It's based in Oceanside, California. I'm a monthly donor to them too. And in fact, I have rescued two personally from there. One is Shelby, she's a pit bull mix. And Lucy is our newest member. She is a Rhodesian Ridgeback, guess what, with a dachshund.
Do you have little
So
tiny legs?
she does, Susie. She's long.
Yes.
She's about 41 pounds, and her legs are like, she's the fastest little thing, just a lovable thing. So I have learned dogs in particular, they've stolen my heart. So I will do anything for dogs. I'm on a mission to rescue dogs, as many as I can, and give them a forever home. And in fact, Susie, this brings me to my big goal as to why am I doing all of this? Why? And I know you were going to ask me, is because I want to help dogs that are abandoned, that are seniors, nobody wants them, that need a home. I want to open, my husband and I are going to open a non-profit. For now, we're calling it Four Paws Resort, and we're going to look after dogs. I mean, this is my calling. I just love being around dogs. There's a saying, right? Dogs make me smile. Humans hurt my head.
Well, especially in your work, got to put up with us. I didn't know. If you hear one more entrepreneur saying, I didn't know, you back up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So dogs are very, very dear to me, and that's the big goal why I want to do this. That would be my legacy.
That'll be a good legacy.
Yeah.
So let's look at the world of laws always changing. Who, when you look at business and you look at business owners, who have you witnessed, as an entrepreneur that you look up to? Because that's always hard for us to find. I don't ever want to be the biggest fish in the pond, right? To go, who do you look up to?
I'm going to be controversial, and that's perfectly fine because I am who I am, Susie.
Yes.
There was a couple of mentors. One mentor of mine was Margaret Thatcher. She was the very first Prime Minister of England, the
Yes.
UK. Strong woman, independent, just back in the 80s as well. So absolutely loved everything she stood for. My current role model, and he has been for a very, very, very long time, is our current president, Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
Susie, I love the man. I love everything about him. I love what he has done. Just look at his business, right? Look at where he came from. Look how he utilized the laws. That's why we have laws on the books for entrepreneurs to utilize. And if you don't know the laws, find an attorney that does.
Right.
So, and he's built an incredible successful business. He serves, thousands of people around the world, Susie. He is my mentor. I look up to him and what he's done with his family too. I just love what the family stands. They're all successful independently. They not one criminal case out there. You don't see them,
Right.
in the tabloids, drunk and
Right.
causing accidents or what have you. So it's just he's strong. Um, his
He loves our
strong
country.
stance.
Yeah, he
Sorry?
loves our country. He's a stand for our
Exactly.
country. Right. I think
Exactly.
I agree. I always look at the accolades, I look at the policy, not the personality. Right. We all have flaws to go, wait, who's going to help our country? Who's going to help our
Exactly.
military? Who's going to help my children? Who's going to help our school? And I think sometimes we get caught up in personality versus what's best for our country. Right. What look at policy. I think that's why you and I both, you love the law, I love the detail. What's really happening, not the hype, right? Because there's
Exactly.
and in business, right,
Exactly.
there's so many charlatans in business. There's so many people who say they can do stuff and they aren't. Who they are on the front is not who they are in the back. And to me, I can't work with people that way, right? It's too hard. Just show me who you are and let's be who we are. But
E-
it takes that investigating and knowing.
Yes. Yes. But one thing, Susie, is when somebody tells you who they are the first time, believe them.
Yes.
Believe them. Entrepreneurs, believe them. Entrepreneurs, I'm telling you, you guys sometimes are sitting ducks because you have no idea who's a predator and who's not. But
Right.
this is where you surround yourself, right, with professionals that know are going to always have your back, always.
Right.
And the couple of professionals that you must have, obviously, is Dr. Susie Carter. You definitely need Susie on your side. You need a great business attorney, not an immigration attorney, not a family law attorney, definitely not a litigation attorney, right? So you need a business attorney that understands business on your side, and you need a fantastic CPA as well. Those are the professionals that every business must have.
And small business, right? There is a difference
Yes.
between small business and big business. And depending on how many zeros you manage, small is relative, right? So people go, oh, you help small businesses. Yeah, we're 10 million plus, right? So that's a small business. And there are certain nuances that, some attorneys just don't understand, or they're protecting you where you don't need to be protected right now. It's like, what's the roadmap of a business? And I think that's what's unique about you is you're looking for the long game. What do you want to do with this? And again, protect your family, right? Protecting you, protecting your business. So let's take a little peek behind your curtain. What's on the horizon for the Queen of Law? Any exciting projects? I know we have the Paw Resort, which I love, love, love that project. Any new books or initiatives we should keep our eye out for?
Well, we are going to have a 2-day exclusive event for our coaching company, Pitbulls and Pearls. That is going to be in May, May 23rd, I believe, 22nd, 23rd, 2-day event exclusive in Carlsbad. And then in
In
January,
2025. That's in 2025.
that's in 2020. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Susie.
Welcome.
2025. This year has just flown by. It's just completely gone. And then actually earlier this year, I was invited to be a judge on a reality TV show, and it was season 15. That season will be releasing soon, so I'm happy to share that with you, Susie. And
Yeah.
then in January, the show has asked me to come back. They're doing this big, massive special, and they're only hand picking certain judges to come back. So that's coming up soon as well. So you'll be
And of
seeing
course,
my.
we got invited back because we're the badass that we are. I love
Of
that.
course, there's no doubt about it.
Well, and what I love is we put together for you a really lovely guide that will help you look at what do you need to do, because it can be scary. Not that Kelly's scary, but I know we get scared to talk to attorneys. We get scared to talk to CPAs, right, on how to protect and grow your high value business. And so we're going to put it in the show notes for you. And it's a beautiful guide just to look at what are the musts. We talked about them here. Kelly eloquently talked about them here. But if you need to know, like, what are the things that I have to have in place, and then you need support with that, I want you to reach out, to Kelly so she can support you in setting it up correctly. Because you don't want, when you need a lawyer is when you don't want to get a lawyer, because then you're making emotional decisions. You want to go, what do I need to do again to protect my business? Kelly, is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't ask you?
I think you were pretty inclusive, Susie. I think you've asked everything, but I would like to share my favorite quote with you,
Yes, please.
and a funny joke if time permits.
It does.
She goes always for that. Forget about the serious stuff. Why didn't we talk about this earlier? So my favorite quote is, "Why blend in when you were born to stand out?"
Yes, that's a good one.
That I live that quote every single day, and every entrepreneur should be living like that too, because otherwise, how are you going to be found? How are your customers going to find you, right? And so there's this joke. So there was a teacher, a lawyer, and a CPA, and they were all asked the same question: "What is 5 plus 2?" The teacher said, "That's 7. That's, of course it's 7." The CPA said, "I got to run the numbers. It could be 6.57. I got to run the numbers." The lawyer leans in and says, "What do you want it to be?"
I was going to say it depends.
It depends.
That's what my job would say is, well, it depends.
Right, exactly.
That's why we love each other.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my God, that's great.
Susie, thank you so much. Thank you. It's truly a privilege being on your show.
Thank you. What an incredible journey. And if you know someone that needs to meet Kelly, that needs to hear her story so they can feel related, please share this with your community, whether it's on your social media, send them the link, text them the link, because really you have to have Kelly in your back pocket, right? From conquering the courtroom to rescuing furry friends, Kelly embodies what it means to lead with passion, with purpose, and unstoppable drive. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking to protect your business or someone striving to make a difference in your community, Kelly's story shows that success isn't just for some of us, it's for all of us. And the impact that you make, Kelly, goes beyond just what you do at your desk and in the courtroom. It goes to your community, from supporting our veterans to supporting our furry friends. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for being a great human being on the planet. Thank you for talking about the love for our country and your God. That makes my heart so happy. And so until next time, keep building, keep dreaming. Remember, your potential is limitless. I'm Dr. Susie Carter with Power Your Profits. We, Kelly and I, are here to protect your profits. I'm here to help you make it. She's here to help you protect it, leverage it for your family, and create generational wealth. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Power Your Profits podcast. Let these building blocks from today's most successful industry leaders equip you with the necessary resources and tools to finally establish the highly profitable business of your dreams. Want to hear more? Listen to more episodes at www.poweryourprofitspodcast.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the show. Now is your time to rise to the top of your game. So be sure to catch our next episode. Until next time.